Hello, it's Dr. Edward here, back for our regular uh, live sessions around health and vitality and holistic and uh, alternative complementary healthcare for our beautiful animals, for our pets, for these wonderful, wonderful beings who share our lives. So I've got two dogs and two cats, and honestly, I don't think I'd ever want to be without pets in my life. They bring so much connection and love. And in the case of Mitzi, little fluffy monster, um, keep amusing me, making me laugh and smile quite a lot. So if you're watching live, welcome. If you're watching on the replay, welcome. What I want to talk about today is how you can create powerful, lasting pet well-being transformation. But the way you're going to do it is actually going to be tremendously helpful and beneficial for you as well. Because as soon as you start caring for yourself better, there's immense benefits for your pets. And I always like to reinforce the fact that no matter how well things are going for your pets, there's always going to be room for improvement. No matter how much you've learned about how to care for your pets holistically, you can always learn more. There's always new things that are coming into the world in that realm. And you can always get better at putting into practice what you always know. So you absolutely can support amazing transformation in well-being for your pets. Because the moment you stop learning new things or new ways to care for your pets, the moment you stop being really proactive and active in doing everything you can to keep your pets not just well, but in peak vitality and wellness, and not just happy, but tremendously happy. As soon as you stop being active and proactive, that's when your pet's health is going to start slipping away from you, away from that optimum zone, which is what we want our pets to be in if we want to have them for a long, healthy, happy, engaged life with us. Now, you might not notice that slippage until months or even years down the track, because your pet's going to look pretty much the same whether or not you are actively engaged in this. But down the track, suddenly they might develop a chronic illness, or they might age more quickly than they would have otherwise, so that you miss out on months or years of the end stages of their life. So it's really important to be active and proactive and be always keeping your finger on the pulse of what's possible in terms of what you can do to help your pets. But what you might not realize, something that you might not be aware of, is that the more you transform your life for the better, the more you care for yourself, the more you nourish yourself, the more you're lovely and kind to yourself, the more your animals benefit. If you have any kinds of stress, anxiety, chronic illness, unresolved trauma, or unhelpful subconscious behavior patterns in your life, this impacts your pets negatively. It's inevitable that it impacts them negatively. Now, if you're alive, you're going to have some of those things going on, because we all do. If we're still alive in our human body on this planet, to some degree or another, we're going to have some of this stuff active, and it's going to be affecting our pets. Now, if there's one thing that I've learned in my decades of healing from chronic fatigue and from Lyme disease and from abusive narcissistic relationships and post-traumatic stress from all of that stuff, is that ongoing self-care is simply essential. And this means ongoing self-care that you do yourself, like exercise, stretching, meditation, resistance training. Make sure you get holiday breaks, time in nature, eating healthy food, avoiding stimulants and junk food and all that sort of stuff. But you also, if you really want to get to the place where you can be as healthy and happy as possible, you're going to need some professional support from practitioners, doctors, body workers, acupuncturists, healers, therapists, coaches, mentors, all that sort of thing, which I do every week, every month. I have something going on that level. The more you do on this, the better your life gets, and the flow-on benefits for your pets when you show up for yourself like this are really incredible. And for those who are watching live, please do drop into the chat and say hi and let me know where you're from. I always like to hear where people are from in the world and what animals they have when I'm doing these shows. So most people, by the way, treat their pets way better than they treat themselves. So I'd like you to ask yourself these questions and be honest with yourself as you answer them. Number one question: do I care for and love myself as well as I do for my pets? Number two question: am I as kind and lovely to myself as I am to my pets? Now, most people, when I ask them this, you see their face go, oh, no, I don't actually. And in fact, it's nearly universally a big fat no to these questions. But the thing is, how you treat yourself is how you're treating your pets. Because however you treat yourself is something that your pets feel very strongly. If you're not being lovely to yourself, you're being unkind to yourself, in a strange but very true way, you're actually being unkind and horrible to your pets because they feel the effects of that in their life and in their body. Any stress, anxiety, and unresolved trauma that you have active in your body and your life impacts directly on your pet's well-being. Now, if you're suddenly thinking, oh, God, I'm doing terrible things to my pets, that's awful, I'm such a bad pet parent, please don't do that. Give yourself a little pat or a hug or a stroke and be kind to yourself, just like you would to your dog or your cat if they did something less than desirable. You're not going to kick your dog if they do something that's undesirable. You're going to try and be lovely to them and teach them how to do things better. Because anytime you punish yourself or you're unkind to yourself like this internally, you're actually making things worse for your pets. Now, here's the thing. You deserve to be as lovely to yourself as you are to your animals. And you can start this today. The first step is simple awareness. Every time you notice yourself being less than totally lovely to your beautiful self, you just take a deep breath, forgive yourself, and start changing your behavior. Another thing you can do is to take a self-care audit so that you have a bit of a look at your life and you go, rightio, how well am I caring for myself? What am I doing to care for myself? And if it's nothing, oh, that's a massive, beautiful opportunity to start doing something. Now, you then need to work out what you can do to fill your cup, because the more you fill your cup, the more you have to overflow to your animals, and the happier and the healthier your animals are going to get. There's a lot that you can do. Now, even if you've got a tiny budget, if you're financially constrained, there's a hell of a lot you can do without spending any money. There's so many free self-relaxation, meditation, yoga, tai chi, qigong, fitness classes on YouTube. It's just not funny. You can get on YouTube, cost you nothing at all, and get a program going to help yourself be better. So one secret is awareness. The second secret is consistency. If you really want to help your animals by helping yourself, you need to have a practice of self-care and exercise, both aerobic and resistance exercise, that happens at least 5 days every week without fail. And I'd suggest at least half an hour, combining meditation, something like stretching, yoga, qigong, tai chi, all these sort of things. Now, when it comes to working with therapists, have a good look around. I've worked with a lot of somatic experiencing people, found that really, really good. If you can't afford a therapist, go to your local library. There's lots of really good books that you can read and put into practice. So you can make a real difference for your pets over time by helping yourself. And I've noticed really big changes in my own dogs and cats over the past 4 or 5 years as I've healed a whole lot of stuff in my life. Start small, do one thing at a time, and use your love for your pets to motivate you, because it is uncomfortable to change and to do a lot of these things, but the benefits are really, really huge. Awesome. So enjoy that very much. Thank you so much for being here today, and start filling up your cup so you can help your pets. Goodbye for now.